Hello everyone. Today we are going to work on our continued SLO of phrasal verbs. Yesterday we worked on some of the phrasal verbs and we understood what phrasal verbs are and how they are used, and we also learned how to separate them and what phrasal verbs can be separated and what cannot be separated. Okay, and then we worked on some of the phrasal verbs. So we would continue this SLO of phrasal verbs, and we would work on some more phrasal verbs. Yesterday, time was up and I couldn't give you the task of kind of homework. So what were supposed to do, you were supposed to use some of the phrasal verbs in your sentences. Okay, so that was the task that I had to put in GCR. Okay, but now today we would work on some more phrasal verbs, and then collectively you would be writing a story where you would be using as many phrasal verbs as possible. Okay, so in dialogue, in narration. Okay, so this would be the task. Okay, yesterday's and today's task. Since we know introduction of phrasal verbs and we were working on some phrasal verbs, so we would continue from there. Okay, so let me take you to another screen. Okay, so here we had left. Mustajab was reading a last sentence, so Mustajab would continue from there. Mustajab continue from here. Put on is a noun. Okay, so from here, please
Put
go.
on is a noun, something done with the intention or of fooling or deceiving people is a put on. He didn't really win the lottery. It was all a big put on to impress his girlfriend.
Okay, so see, we can also use put on as a noun. Okay, so it's a very good one. We should know these words so that we can enrich our writing, enrich our speaking. Okay, let's move to another one. Run into. Okay, Ansa, please go ahead and read this one.
When you are driving and hit another vehicle or something near the road, such as a tree or a telephone pole, you run into it.
Okay,
Ali was driving too fast and he ran into a telephone pole.
okay.
I was run into by a drunk driver.
Okay. Now, see, this is a very interesting phrasal verb. It has different meanings. So, another meaning, run into. Okay, so I have used this so many times. Okay, and I have also heard this in movies. Run into. Now, have you ever heard this in this way when you have met somebody unexpectedly? Okay, so let's read its meaning. So Mustajab, would you go ahead and read this
So from here,
from number
third one,
two? Yeah,
run into phrasal verb when you unexpectedly
when you meet
encounter
people. Yeah.
difficulties or problems. Yes, sir.
See, read from here, number two, not number three. Okay, when you
Okay,
meet
sir.
people unexpectedly or unintentionally, you run into them. Yes.
Run into phrasal verb when you meet people unexpectedly or unintentionally. You run into them. Bump into is the same as run into. We ran into Karen and her new boyfriend at the supermarket yesterday.
Okay.
I won Frank $300, so I hope I don't run into him.
Acha, okay, very good. So see, when you are, you know, have no any plan, no intention to meet someone, but if you meet that person, if all of a sudden they, come in front of you or somewhere you are going and they are also there, okay, so unexpectedly if you meet somebody, you run into them. Okay, so pay attention to this one, bump into. Okay, this is also same. Okay, bump into meaning the same, run into. Okay, meaning you meet somebody unexpectedly. And then now let's make some of our own sentences. Actually, now Fiza will tell me, Fiza, have you ever run into somebody unintentionally, meaning but something interesting or something bad had happened. So can you describe that situation where you had run into somebody or bumped into somebody?
No, sir.
Acha. Okay, anybody else? Yes, anybody else who have run into some person, and then that situation might be embarrassing, or maybe good situation. Can you describe any situation
Sir,
where you bumped into somebody? Yes, Ansar, yes, go ahead.
when we met after a long time and at college after a long vacation.
Speak
That
loudly,
was the
please.
moment when we ran into.
I couldn't hear Ansar. Ansar, can you speak loudly?
Sir, when we met at college with friends after a long vacation, that was the moment, I guess.
Acha, okay, meaning when you came to college and you bumped into some friends, okay? So that was a very interesting, fun situation, okay? Meaning a very good situation. Okay, so for example, uh, here this situation, here when the sentence says, I owe Frank $300. Okay, so I hope I don't run into him. Now this is very embarrassing situation. It's a difficult situation. Mustajab, have you ever had any situation like this, meaning any situation where something bad had happened?
Yes, sir.
Yes, can you?
Sir, in at my home, it
Okay.
was the wedding of my cousin, and the waiter was and
Mhm.
taking tea to the visitors. So I bumped in, and the whole tea was.
So make a sentence what had happened, and then use this phrasal verb run into.
So I ran into the room, and I bumped the waiter. All the tea was missed, and the room was missed by the tea.
So bumped into meaning you unexpectedly meet someone. Okay, so how the room was spoiled. The tea was I think you are using it maybe incorrectly. There's too much noise in the lab where I'm sitting. I'm unable to understand you. Can you go ahead and again tell us? Yes.
मीन्स सारे कमरे में चाय हार गई थी, और वो खराब हो गया था सारा रूम, जहाँ पे वो ब्राइड भी बैठी हुई थी, तो फिर खराब हो गया था सारा.
Okay, okay, I understand that. But did you run into somebody unexpectedly that you had not thought that you would meet that person? Who was it? The waiter?
Yes, the
Yes,
waiter was also my little cousin.
Okay, okay. So now Jabbar is also
sir.
in the room. Yes.
Sir, please explain the sentence. I
Sorry.
owe friend $300.
Wait a minute. Let me move to some other place. The lab has become too noisy and I am unable to hear you. Asha, can you now tell me?
Sir, please explain the sentence. I owe Frank $300, so I hope I don't run into him.
Okay, very good. Asha, let me explain this to you. Now it means that I had taken $300 from Frank. Okay, meaning I owe these to Frank. Meaning this is a date that I had taken from say Frank. So consider Frank is you. Okay, Ansar, from you I had taken $300, and I haven't returned these. Okay, so I haven't given $300 back to you. So I am going somewhere, okay, and I hope I don't run into you. Meaning, I hope that I won't meet you somewhere unexpectedly, okay? Because if I met you, you would ask me your money, okay? Did you understand that? Maybe it was the word "oh," okay? That
Yes, sir.
was new for you, okay? Actually, now
Yes.
Jabbar is also in the meeting. Jabbar, please go ahead and read the sentence number 3. Run into it. It has another meaning. Let's find the another meaning of this word. Jabbar, would you go ahead? Asha, Fiza, please you go ahead. Yes.
When you unexpectedly encounter difficulties or problems, you run into them. Thought it
Yes, go ahead.
thought it would be easy to fix my car, but I have been running into problems.
Mhm.
Janice ran into one problem after another at work today.
Okay, very good. So it doesn't mean that you unexpectedly meet somebody, then that is the only meaning of this phrasal verb run into. It also means that when you unexpectedly encounter difficulties or problems, okay, so you run into them. So any problem you have run into, can you tell me any problem? Anybody? Yes, for example, I ran into the problem of internet, slow internet connection in my earlier class. Yes. Okay, let's move to the fourth meaning of this word. Mustaja, please go ahead and read this.
Run into phrasal verb when the total of something grow to a large amount of or number, it runs into that amount or number. If you fixed everything on that old car that needs fixing, it would run into thousands of dollars. The
Mhm.
number of starving people in the country run into millions.
Okay, so the number of starving people, okay, in the country ran into millions, meaning it, you know, grew to the large amount. Okay, so that's our phrasal verb run into. Now we are moving to another phrasal verb. Fiza Batul would start discussing this one. Please go ahead, Fiza Batul, from here. First meaning of show up.
Show up as a verb. When you appear somewhere, you show up. Turn up in turn, turn up is similar to show up. Was supposed to meet my sister for lunch, but she hasn't shown up yet. Over 100 people showed up for the news conference.
Okay, very good. So see, show up and turn up, they are similar. Okay, they have same meaning. Okay, now Ansar would tell us any sentence using this phrasal verb, show up or turn up. Ansar, can you tell us any sentence of your own?
Let me think, sir. Wait a
Okay.
minute.
Yes, think. If anybody has any sentence, please raise the hand. There is option in Zoom of raising hand. If you don't know, please that's on any window. Explore that option and use it. Okay, Mustajab, will you tell us any sentence using turn up or show up? Yes. Or let me ask you this way: have you ever shown up somewhere late? Okay, have you ever
Yeah,
turned up
sir.
somewhere late?
Sir,
What was that occasion where you turned up late? Yes, tell us using the verb.
So
Yes.
it was a college time, and we did late too much. It was 9 p.m.,
Okay.
9 a.m.,
Okay.
and the guards at the gate was not allowing us to come inside the school.
Okay, so meaning you would say once I turned up late at college and the security guard was not allowing me to enter, right? Okay. Now,
sir,
Mustajab would read the second meaning of this one. Mustajab, go ahead.
sir, I have sentence.
Okay, Ansar, please tell us the sentence.
When I joined the Zoom class, teacher hasn't shown up yet.
Okay,
Is
very
it
good.
correct?
Okay, okay, very good. Okay, so Mustajab, read the meaning of show up, second meaning.
Show a phrasal verb when something appears or becomes visible. It shows up. It's hard to photograph polar bears because they do not show up well against the snow. The sports won't show up until the last stages of the disease.
Okay, so when something appears or becomes visible, it shows up. Okay, it's a very good word. Okay, so multiple meanings it has got. So let's move to another one. Or would anybody tell me the say sentence using the second meaning of show up, meaning when something becomes visible or it appears? Acha, we I think in when it's say Eid, all of us we look at the sky to see the moon, right? So use this situation and use the phrasal verb show up. Right? Mrs. Amiman would tell us the sentence. Keep in mind this situation. Okay, keep in mind two meanings and use the word show up. Murtaza, please keep your
When I uh, when I boiled the water, bubbles showed up on the surface.
Okay, okay, you used another meaning. Asha, I gave you a situation. Let me make a sentence myself. All of the children were looking at the sky and waiting for the moon to show up. Okay, maybe. Okay, let's move to another phrasal verb now. Take off. Okay. Asha, now, so the first meaning, who would read? Fiza Batul, please you go ahead. Yes. Okay, take off meaning it's a phrasal verb when you remove something from your body, you take it off. Say any, socks,
May I
say,
read, sir?
yes, okay, Ansar, go ahead.
When you remove something from your body, you take it off.
Mhm.
Was so tired when I got home that I took my clothes off and went straight to bed. Take off your shoes, you are getting mud on the carpet.
Okay, very good. Now, Ansar, please go ahead and read the second meaning also.
When you remove something from a surface, you take it off. Took the book off the table. You need to take the old wax off the floor before you wax it again.
Okay, very good word. Okay, so this is something we need to understand. It's a very good phrasal verb. When you remove something from a surface, you take it off. Okay, it's a very good one. Okay, and many times we have such situations where we need such phrasal verbs. Okay, so Liza Mehman would read the third meaning of take off.
When you remove something from something, it is attached or affixed. You take it off. Alfonso always takes the skin off chicken before he cooks it. After Jane took the flat tire off her bicycle, she put on the new one.
Okay, good. Okay, now fourth meaning, phrasal verb take off is also fourth meaning. So, Mustab, go ahead and read this to us.
Take off phrasal verb when you take time off from work or study. You do something different instead of working or studying. I cannot work tomorrow. I have to take the day off for some tests at the hospital. Our company always lets us take the week between Christmas and New Year's Day off.
Okay, very good. Asha, now Fiza Batul will tell me any sentence using this take off in the fourth meaning of this take off. Okay, when you take time off from work or study, you do something different. So tell us any situation where you were doing something and you got bored with it, or you become tired of that thing, and then you needed to take time off. Okay, any sentence?
Sir, wait, I'm thinking.
Okay, okay, think. Anybody, if you can tell me any sentence? Yes. Take the day off, meaning you went on a leave. Okay, you went on a holiday. Here in the first sentence, I can't work tomorrow, I have to take the day off for some tests at the hospital. Now it means that this person, meaning say I needed to go to the hospital, so I took leave from work. Okay, do you have any sentence? Yes. Okay, let's move to the fifth meaning. Ansar would
Sir,
read. Yes.
I have sentence of take off.
Okay, tell us.
I should take off. I should take off a day for
Mhm.
my brother's wedding from office.
Okay,
Is it
I should
correct?
take the day off because it's my brother's wedding.
Okay.
Okay, I'm going to take the day off
Yeah.
from college because it's my brother's marriage. Okay, very good. Now, fifth one, take off. Okay, so Ansar, go ahead and read this one.
When an airplane leaves the ground and flies up into the air, it takes off. Our plane took off an hour late because of the snow. Put on your seat belt. We are taking off now.
Acha, okay, very good. Now see, this is intransitive. Here there is no object, and so that's why they are together. And I think this is the common meaning of take off. Everybody knows this, right?
Yes.
Acha. So now here take off when this phrasal verb comes, becomes one word, it becomes a noun. Okay, so take off is when an airplane leaves the ground and flies up into the air. Okay. So the takeoff was delayed because of the snow. Okay, so now see, takeoff here is a noun. Okay, so now we have six meaning of takeoff. Fiza Memon would read this. Yes, Fiza, can you read it? Fiza Batul, you go ahead.
Take off. When a business or other organized activity becomes very successful, it takes off. The new restaurant's business is taking off because it got a good review in the newspaper.
Mhm.
If this business takes off, we could make a lot of money.
Okay, very good. Meaning, if this business takes off, meaning it, starts flourishing, it starts increasing. Okay, we could make a lot of money. So, in terms of business, if or any organization, organized activity becomes very successful, it takes off. Okay, so meaning it succeeds, it flourishes, it increases. Okay, now we have seventh meaning of take off, and Ansar, please go ahead and read this.
When you leave suddenly or quickly, you take off.
Okay, let me give you the sentences. Okay, read the sentence, please.
After he found out the FBI was looking for him, he took off in a hurry. This party is boring. Let's take off.
Okay, so now we have the eighth meaning of take off. Yes, Mustaja, go ahead and read this one.
Take off phrasal verb when you reduce the price of something that is for sale by a certain amount. You take that amount off the price. The sign in the store window said every Monday take 10% off all marked prices. The car dealer took $2,000 off the list prices.
Acha, very good. I think this is also very common because when we go to market, we see labels on some things like this. Okay, so or maybe nowadays it's
Sir,
the end of the year, and when it's end of the year, there's Black Friday and all these things. Okay, so many businesses they take off the price, right? Yes, you were saying something, Ansar?
sir, it's 11:30 and it's our maths class.
Yes, okay. So here also we have come to end of the class also. So we are going to end the class, and today I would give you a narrative writing task. So you have to make a story and use as many phrasal verbs as possible. So far, whatever phrasal verbs we have discussed, you have to use these in a narrative. I'll post the narrative task in Google Classroom. Okay. Thank you for coming, and that's your homework. We will meet in another class, and goodbye.